So you've been here all your life?
Yeah. All my life been here.
San Diego?
San Diego, yeah.
So getting some feedback what Tim just did.
You know, being able to still put out like good content or a good build for, you know, someone. We're gonna grind down the edges a little bit more. Oh, but it clears. I usually use the Cryonaut thermal paste, the Thermal Grizzly. It's usually my go-to. I really haven't had any issues with it as far as CPU temps, so kind of think of like, if it's not broke, don't fix it type thing. I wish I had a, what do you call it? No, it's good. Does it slide in? With the, it's basically a carbon black and white with black cable combs. So, you know, if you look at the aesthetic that I already have of this PC and then adding in these cables with the black combs, I mean, it really makes everything that much better. So. You know, my ultimate goal as far as moving forward, as far as is advancing in this space, is to, you know, figure out a better way for me to help the community, to help the bigger person, to help the intermediate person, and to help the person that's just starting out. I want people to have a foundation of where they can go and a direction of where they can go when they want to come into this space. A lot of people, I feel, are threatened by a newcomer. You're threatened by someone that's doing something different, and you know, a lot of stuff is taken in a negative light. And I think that, like, you know, for example, you know, you came on the scene and we have different styles and we have different things that we like, but I think we work really good together as a team. You know what I mean? I'm able to bounce ideas off of you, you're able to bounce the ideas off of me. And someone that's just starting, that sees someone like me, and not that I'm anything special, but that sees someone like me, I want them to feel that, hey, you can come up and just ask me a question. You can DM me and say, hey, I'm trying to do this, like, what do you think is the best way to do it? And I want to have that inclusiveness in the community. You know, the consumer market. For example, if you look at AORUS's brand new 1200 watt power supply. So I don't believe this is available yet in the US market, but this one specifically has now the screen on the side that will give you your temperature readings, will allow you to see all of the different, I guess, health readings that your computer is going through. So anything from your CPU clocks to your CPU temp, from your GPU temp to your GPU clocks, even down to the amount of power draw that your system is taking. So the thing that's exciting for me is, I guess, being able to create something different. There's a lot of people in this industry that, you know, have their own styles and, you know, do different things, and, you know, it's exciting to be able to, you know, look on social media and see somebody's post, you know, whether it's Ben or Jesse or George, you know, Sniff, you know, you see what these people have done, and it's like, hey, like, how can I take that same concept and, kind of make it my own? So, I guess being an artist and being a creator in this space, it really allows you to, push boundaries, whatever it may be, whether it's just, the PC building, whether it's the water cooling aspect of it, or whether it's just going above and beyond with like colors and materials and things of that sort. So I think it's kind of almost endless, and for me, it's it's a good creative space to be in, especially me being a tech person to begin with. So as a person and as a modder, you're putting some kind of influence and some kind of inspiration into whether it's just another person or whether it is a brand itself. I think for me personally, being approached by AORUS and Gigabyte USA, and I did work with Gigabyte Taiwan in headquarters for many years. It was great, and we started chatting, and we had a couple of meetings, and I think probably one of the biggest things for me is when I was asking them like, hey, what are you looking for when it comes to a custom PC? They basically told me like, well, that's you, and whatever your expression is of that. So it was like, wow, like I can do whatever I want, to a certain degree, of course, but whatever I want and whatever I'm into, and I'm not like guided on this road of like, it needs to have this and it needs to have that. So, being able to express myself, again, in my art form, without having any limitations, you know what I mean? And the brand that I'm working at accepting that, and Gigabyte USA accepting that, it's awesome. Okay, so here I'm installing the nickel-plated tubing that I use for this pass-through. This pass-through panel actually houses the EKWB FLT80. So there's soft tube ZMT into the back, and I'm just gonna go ahead and install this one, which will actually be for the bottom port of the GPU. Now that I'm doing PC building, it kind of gives me an outlet to be able to do anything wherever I want.